Hi, I'm Johnny Rose from Croydon Tech City, and this evening I'm with Tim Buick from Streetpin, the social local mobile app, which is a virtual pin board for local communities. Hi there, Tim. Thank you very much for this evening. Could you describe Streetpin quite briefly, what it is and how you came up with the idea of it?
Sure. So Streetpin is we were trying to bring the community pin board into the digital age. So the idea is that we can actually start to generate or provide the tool for any venue or any location to generate their own community. In an ideal world, we'll have community here, and then each will have their own membership, their own customers, but then how they interact locally to get an interactive neighbourhood is our ultimate goal.
Fantastic. You spoke about a very successful rollout in Orpington, a beta trial. Could you discuss some examples of how it was used there and to what effect?
Sure, yeah. So I left my job in December. I spent 8 months really understanding what the customer need was. So we had an initial plan. We said, this is kind of what you want. And then when we talked to people, we found out actually they tell us what they want rather than us. So there's been a lot of pivoting and understanding what they need. So we embedded ourselves in a school, a pub, a church, going to festivals. I spent ages in my t-shirt and giving out leaflets and just sort of demonstrating and showing how it works and then getting the feedback. So we've learned a lot from running clubs. Scouts, I was trying to bring back the bobber shop. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that.
I've read about it in history books.
So things like being able to embed these community, these sort of the organisations that are so central to a community and how they can actually interact with each other.
I think that's really wonderful. Croydon, of all places, really does need that community feel and technology that can empower that. And I think that's one really encouraging thing about Streetpin is it does foster and bring together people, which I think is really nifty. And what I was going to ask you about is you talked about leaving your job. Can you tell me a bit about your history and how that's informed, what you're doing now?
Sure. My degree a long time ago was in graphic design. I left to go and live in China, so teaching English, getting a feel of that community. I've had 13 years of web and design and build management. I was at BT for a little while. I set up BT's internal design agency. I then went to STA Travel. I was the global web manager there, so I was there for about 5 years. And they were kind of asking me what I think would be the next strategic move. And I did say, actually, to be honest, I'm doing something in my spare time, Streetpin. And I described how I think the next thing is localization, but on a global scale. They were interested. They put some money in, and then they enabled us to build our beta product.
Fantastic. I was going to ask you, you're not doing this alone. Can you tell me a little bit about the talents of the people within the founding team?
So I've got much more of a sort of innovation, design, build, management, which will get me nowhere. So all I would have is ideas and drawings. So I've got 2 fantastic developers. I hired them while I was at STA, so I know how good they are. And then I've got my finance guy, who I went running with. He's a part of my running club. So on the long, rainy runs through Orpington Woods, we just got talking. And so we have a sort of innovation. I have a marketing background as well. And with tech, with finance, that's our little core team.
Fantastic. 2 more questions. What did you think of Croydon Tech City this evening?
Loved it. It was to be really fair, the one downstairs last month, I was just really hot. It was quite a sweaty little room.
That's Matthew's yard.
I don't deal with the heat too well, and I don't deal with not being able to stretch my legs. So today,
more space, more air.
Space, air, not too hot. Fantastic.
Wow, that's fabulous. And what I was going to ask you is the final thing is Croydon, just as a test ground. Yeah. What would be who are you looking for in Croydon to work with, or who are the sorts of people you'd like to get in touch, or where would you like to go next in Croydon? What's
Sure.
helpful?
A long time ago, I came into Croydon. There was is it Blue Orchid?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's notorious.
So the foam parties and stuff like that.
Wow.
This is going. I'm not sure you were born.
I've heard the stories. I've heard the stories.
So I've just started doing a contract role. I now look after digital and social media at Land Registry. So to pay the bills, doing some contracting. So I'm starting to get to know Croydon all over again. It's not the late night phone party venue. So for me, it's really, really interesting. I did a lot of work in Orpington, and now coming here, I can see so many living, breathing communities that I'd love to get my hands on, and just sort of say, gee, even in your own community, start to interact better throughout the day in a medium, in a way that you would like to interact with. And then, by the way, there's another one here, and another one here.
Yep.
And together, that's a really interactive neighbourhood
Yep.
with so many diverse cultures and interests, hobbies. Fantastic.
That sounds wonderful. Well, Tim, thank you very much.
Thank you.